welcome to the channel. I'm Ricky Myers, and this is the action thriller collector, except no substitutes. Cheers, a little coffee from my silver diner mug. It is 20 degrees outside, and it is snowing once again in the nation's capital. But on February 20th, 1962, it was a great day for America because on that day, John Glenn orbited the Earth 3 times in the Friendship 7 spacecraft. So I thought, hey, let's acknowledge John Glenn and the entire Right Stuff franchise. So I brought out a couple of items to go over with you. One, my first printing hardcover edition. That glare is caused by the Mylar protective cover that I have on my book. But anyway, Tom Wolfe, of course, is the author. Boy, that glare is bad. Tom Wolfe is the author of The Right Stuff. And that's what a first printing looks like. Let's see if I can open this thing. I like looking at these old. Purchase price $12.95. $12.95. And what does the printing page look like on this bad boy? Just says copyright 1979, and this was originally, down at the bottom it says, from a article in Rolling Stone magazine. That's where this whole idea for the book came from, the 4-part article on astronauts by Tom Wolfe in Rolling Stone magazine, 1973. So that would be 11 years after John Glenn actually orbited the Earth, becoming the first American to orbit the planet Earth. Anyway, it's in great shape. You can still get these, and you can still get them at a reasonable price, first printings. For some reason, this book has really not skyrocketed up in price because a couple of factors really help books skyrocket. Well, the one that's not a factor in that is that this is not Tom Wolfe's first book. When an author puts his first book out, whether it's good or bad, that's a big indicator for value there. It's always kind of like the rookie card, right? Rookie card, even though you haven't done anything or proven yourself, the rookie card is what is going to be the highest priced book usually. And that is the case here too. Tom Wolfe, unfortunately, this is not his first book. So, but other factors that do make the price of books go up, okay, is when a major motion picture is made from the book. So he does have that. The Right Stuff does have that going for it because it's got a phenomenal movie that was made from this book. But it's not his first book. So you're the winner. You can still pick up a first printing of The Right Stuff at a reasonable price. I have also got the paperback, just because I love the artwork on there. And I'm gonna have to look into this because I never noticed this at first time I profiled this on the channel. It's not a sticker, it's actually embossed, part of the cover. But the Chief of Staff, United States Air Force, I'm wondering if there were some special copies made for different branches. Of course, John Glenn was a Marine, but a lot of the first 7 astronauts were Air Force pilots. You know, a few were from the Navy, and only John Glenn was from the Marine Corps. Anyway, love the artwork. I'll show you the different version. Make sure I'm putting it the right way there. That's your spine, and the back has some blurbs and like some type of drawing of the wives of the Friendship 7. Anyway, got that. What else do I have? I actually have the DVD, but it's on loan to a good friend whose son is a high school student who's already got his pilot's license and is looking for colleges that feature aviation programs. So it's on loan to him because, hey, what better use of my DVD than to inspire a 17-year-old further along in his pilot's career. Well, I also have this one, the biography. Glare's terrible, but these books are protected. That's the good thing. Anyway, John Glenn, a memoir, written by John Glenn with Nick Taylor. And on the back of here, you have a picture of John and his wife on their wedding day, back when they were both young. Of course, now they have both passed on. Rest in peace. So this is a great book. This covers his entire career. Before John was selected in 1959 as one of the original 7 astronauts by NASA, John Glenn was a Marine fighter pilot, and he has over 149 combat missions that he flew in both World War II and the Korean War. Another item that I have is another book called P.S. I Listened to Your Heartbeat, Letters to John Glenn, with comments by John Glenn. And here's the back of that book. Do my best for this glare, but only so much you can do. And this one, there's side spine. This is also a first printing. And this book it's a cool book. Let's see what year this came out. It was $4.95 purchase price on the inside flap. This book came out 1964, 2 years after he orbited the Earth. And let me show you that printing page. Whoops. Yeah, 1964. So that flapped back, what do you call the inside pages? But it's just postmarks from all over the country on these to go with the theme of letters that folks had written to John Glenn, telling him that they listened to his heartbeat because that's what was broadcast on television. John Glenn's heartbeat. Yeah, they were doing all those different medical studies, and his heartbeat was one of the things that they were tracking as he orbited the Earth 3 times. So, do I have any other memories of John Glenn? As a police officer, early on, I started with the Metro Airport Police in the Washington, D.C. area. Then those are the police officers that you'll see at Washington Dulles and Washington National, now called Reagan Airport, where we just recently had the horrible crash. Well, as a police officer at those airports, I would see John Glenn. He was a senator, and he would fly through National Reagan Airport all the time to go back to his home state of Ohio. And I can't remember how many times I saw him. A couple of times I shook his hand because you get to wear a little, if you were a prior service member, you get to wear your a little pin on your uniform. So I had a Marine Corps designated pin on my uniform, and I'd be tasked sometimes to escort him to his gate. And he would see the pin and say, Semper Fi, Devil Dog. So I shook his hand, a couple different times, but I probably ran into John Glenn at the airport, I don't know, 10, 15 times. Probably I lost track. And I really wish that I would have at some point taken a photograph with him or had his autograph on one of my books. But it's not something that I did. I did work with a girl, good friend of mine, police officer, and she got autographs all day long from celebrity types that would go in frequent and travel through the airports. I took a couple of photographs with a couple of people, but it wasn't really my thing to ask people for their autographs, so I really don't have any autographs from my time there, even though I met a ton of, I guess what you would call the other thing is, if you ever get a chance to go to the Kennedy John F. Kennedy Space Center Museum, definitely do that. You'll see all kinds of stuff from the original 7 astronauts, including John Glenn. And I believe I saw some stuff of his at the Pensacola Naval Air Station Museum. And of course, if you come to Washington, D.C., you should visit the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum in downtown D.C. They've got some John Glenn stuff on display there, but also go to the Udvar-Hazy Smithsonian Museum out in Chantilly, Virginia. That's their huge warehouse of stuff. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Space capsules, all kinds of planes. Just too much. I could make a whole video just telling you what's at the Udvar-Hazy Museum. But suffice it to say, if you come to town, you should definitely make a trip to the Udvar-Hazy. You can also get some John Glenn stuff at the Marine Corps Museum in Quantico, Virginia. Probably about a 25-minute drive from Washington, D.C. But if you're into this kind of stuff, hey, then put it on your bucket list, because it is the Marine Corps Museum and the Udvar-Hazy are outstanding museums. Both of them are free, doesn't cost any, and so is the Smithsonian in downtown DC. All these museums are free. I will say though, Udvar-Hazy, if you are driving a car there and you need to park it, it is like $25 to park your car. I believe it's $25. Hell, it could have gone up by now. So today, just celebrating 63 years since John Glenn orbited the Earth in the Friendship 7 spacecraft. And hey, maybe tonight's a perfect night to throw on The Right Stuff. What about you? Do you have any of these books in your collection? Do you have The Right Stuff in your DVD movie collection? If so, let me know. And hey, if you have some other books about John Glenn or the original 7 astronauts, let me know. Drop them down in the comments. I'm always looking for new things to add to my MANbrary collection. Until next time, happy collecting.